In 1952, Israel sent spies to live in Palestinian villages. Did you guys know this? Israel, the Mossad came up with an ingenious, or so they thought, idea. Let's send spies to live in the Palestinian areas, to live there. Send them there to marry Arabs and to have children. And when we need you, we will ask you to come and tell us information. They sent 10 guys. They spent a lot of time with them, teaching them the dialect, the Arab customs, the Quran, taught them everything. And after 10 years, in 1962, the mission had completely failed. And they aborted the mission. Why did the mission fail? Because the spies had integrated so much into the Palestinian way of life that they were no longer able to give any information. And as I'll explain in tonight's class, that every single one of us is a spy in this world. And I'll get to that in a second. But first I want to just develop another theme. The spies were all righteous individuals. So we said now, finally, they didn't have enough emunah, enough faith. But they were all righteous individuals. They were all the leaders of the Jewish people. They were all the biggest rabbis. They don't have enough faith. What was going on over here? There must be something deeper that we're missing. And here's where it's a revolutionary concept. And listen carefully. What did the Jewish people do in the desert for 40 years? What was their occupation?
Wandering.
They're wandering in the desert, right? But what did they do? What did they do all day? Woke up in the morning. What did they do all day?
Rely on God.
They what?
Rely on God.
Relied on God, because they had food, and they had water, and they had shelter from the clouds of glory, and they had clothing, right, which was ironed all the time. But what did they do all day long?
Maintain the tabernacle.
They'd maintain the tabernacle. But what did they do? 600,000 Jews. What did they do? They what?
Was it? No, I don't know.
Learn Torah.
Very good.
It's always the answer.
They studied Torah day and night. So can you imagine the situation? Imagine today you're living in New York City, right? And you don't need to go to the office. You don't need to go become a lawyer or a hedge fund manager or a doctor or a finance, whatever you do, you don't need to do it. You can come here right now to this room all day long and you can just study Torah. And you get so good at it that you don't need to listen to the shiur. You can give the shiur. You can give the Torah class. There's no greater pleasure in life than really learning a piece of Talmud, a Tosfos, really understanding it all the way, analyzing it. It's a special pleasure. You're connecting with Almighty God. They don't need to work because all their needs are taken care of. They have food, man, whatever they want to taste they have. If it's sushi, if it's steak, if it's soup, whatever they want to have. Breakfast, lunch, supper, and snacks. They have water, which is delicious. They have clouds of glory. They have no enemies. They need no army. So they are free all day to study Torah. Now let's look at the spies. Spies were spiritual human beings. They understood that if we are going to go to Israel now, there's not going to be any man from heaven. There won't be any water from the well of Miriam. There won't be clothes ironed. We'll have to have an army. We'll have to have the IDF. We'll have to go into work. We'll have to go into agriculture. We'll have to farm the fields. We'll have to work for a living. And we'll have time to study Torah, maybe early in the morning and maybe at night. That's it. Who wants to go to Israel? So the spies came back with a disfavorable report. They said we should stay in Israel. Why? Because they were such tzaddikim. Because they were such righteous people. They said the place for righteous people is in the desert with God. So now that we understand that, what's wrong with that? That's beautiful. Who wants to study Torah all day long? We all do, right? That's what we're going to do when Messiah comes, when Mashiach comes.